Breaking news in video published to his Sussex Royal Instagram page. Prince Harry has just publicly addressed the decision by him and his wife Meghan to leave their royal lives behind. Watch this.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for being here for Sentebale, a charity that myself and Prince Seeiso created all the way back in 2006 to honour our mother's legacy in supporting those affected by HIV and AIDS. Before I begin, I must say that I can only imagine what you may have heard or perhaps read over the past few weeks. So, I want you to hear the truth from me, as much as I can share, not as a prince or a duke, but as Harry, the same person that many of you have watched grow up over the last 35 years, but now with a clearer perspective. The UK is my home and a place that I love. That will never change. I've grown up feeling supported from so many of you, and I watched as you welcomed Meghan with open arms, as you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. Finally, the second son of Diana got hitched. Hooray. I also know that you've come to know me well enough over all these years to trust that the woman I chose as my wife upholds the same values as I do. And she does. And she's the same woman I fell in love with. We both do everything we can to fly the flag and carry out our roles for this country with pride. Once Meghan and I were married, we were excited, we were hopeful, and we were here to serve. For those reasons, it brings me great sadness that it has come to this. The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. It was so many months of talks after so many years of challenges. And I know I haven't always gotten it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option. What I want to make clear is we're not walking away, and we certainly aren't walking away from you. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth, and my military associations, but without public funding. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible. I've accepted this, knowing that it doesn't change who I am or how committed I am. But I hope that helps you understand what it had come to, that I would step my family back from all I have ever known, to take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life. I was born into this life, and it is a great honour to serve my country and the Queen. When I lost my mum 23 years ago, you took me under your wing. You looked out for me for so long, but the media is a powerful force. And my hope is one day our collective support for each other can be more powerful, because this is so much bigger than just us. It has been our privilege to serve you, and we will continue to lead a life of service. So in that respect, nothing changes. It has also been a privilege to meet so many of you and to feel your excitement for our son Archie, who saw snow for the first time the other day and thought it was bloody brilliant. I will always have the utmost respect for my grandmother, my Commander-in-Chief, and I am incredibly grateful to her and the rest of my family for the support they have shown Meghan and I over the last few months. I will continue to be the same man who holds his country dear and dedicates his life to supporting the causes, charities and military communities that are so important to me. Together, you have given me an education about living, and this role has taught me more about what is right and just than I could ever have imagined. We are taking a leap of faith, so thank you for giving me the courage to take this next step.
There you have it. Let's bring in someone who knows most of the players in all of this intimately. Patrick Jephson was Princess Diana's chief of staff. There you see some pictures of them together. And Patrick, I really want to lean into your personal connection and knowledge of this family. What did you just hear and see there? What was your reaction?
Well, Anna, I think this is one of the most poignant bits of royal videotape I've ever seen. I think that really is Harry speaking from the heart. And I was just jotting down some of the things he referred to there. The UK is my home. where his wife was welcomed with open arms. He is taking this step back with great sadness. And I think there's no doubt from the way he delivered it and from the choice of subjects he gave us as examples, there is real sadness here. And indeed, what we do know is that right across the family, there is sadness, because this is primarily a family crisis before it's a national or international news story. And the Queen addressed that quite directly in her statement.
Do you see much of Diana in Harry?
I've always seen a lot of his mother in Prince Harry, ever since he was a little boy, when if you wanted him to do something, the best way was to get him to do the opposite. His mother was also pretty contrary. If you wanted to stop Diana doing something, suggest she should, or vice versa. And I think there is also this extraordinary gift that both Harry and his mother share, which is the great talent to be able to speak right past men in suits and communications officers and secretaries straight into the hearts of people. And I think he's just doing it again here in this videotape, especially here to the charities sent to Bali, but also, as he would have known, to the wider world and to all those Brits and others who admire and love the monarchy, that he still recognizes its great qualities. He holds them dear, just as people around the world share that great faith and affection for the institution.
You mentioned some sadness that you sense throughout the family right now. What do you think this change means for Harry and William's relationship?
Well, we have to hope that this big decision is going to take Harry and Meghan and Archie, as Harry himself said, towards a more peaceful life, a happier life, a life where, in Meghan's words, they can thrive. It does, of course, mean, though, that this is going to throw more work onto the remaining members of the royal family, William and Catherine especially. And this, I think, Anna, really underlines the fact that although this is a family business, a dynasty, it's also a great institution of the British state. And we see here in pretty raw terms where the family meets the duty, that always, as the Queen has shown by her own example, as the longest serving monarch in British history, that when it comes to a competition between family and duty, duty must come first. And that, I think, is what we're seeing. This is the consequences of having to put duty first. You're in or you're out. And the message from the Queen is, you're out.
And Harry's saying right back to her, family first, not duty first. I have to ask you about, what this is going to mean for Harry, because Meghan has lived in California and Canada and the UK. She's been a commoner and a royal, but Harry has always been a royal. It's the only life he's ever known, even though this is something he wants. What challenges do you foresee for him in this transition?
Well, there are going to be some nice challenges. I mean, I speak as a naturalized American citizen myself. I made the transition from UK to the US. It requires great commitment. It requires immersion, but the rewards are rich and they keep on coming. But there will certainly be many challenges for Harry, perhaps most specifically the challenge that a lot of people, particularly maybe young men, face when they move from a structured environment into an essentially unstructured environment. It's often said that Harry was happiest when he was in the army. There's nothing more structured than the military life. Buckingham Palace is a structured existence. Now, well, we don't know. What is the shape of his life going to be? What is the system, the structure that's going to keep him happily employed, fulfilled in his work, and to help both him and Meghan achieve their dreams?
Yep. Patrick Jeffson, great to have you here. Thank you very much for taking the time.